Welcome students. See, always you cannot expect the simple shapes like right angle triangle, equilateral triangle, then semicircle, quadrant and the same position. Based upon the shape of the object, the position of the basic geometric shape also different. Okay, so when the position of the shape changes, the formula also will be altered. Okay, so here I will just give you an idea. So if I consider the right angle triangle, okay, first we shall take this. Okay, so in the general way, in the first quadrant we used to represent it. The position will be something like this. Am I right? Yes. So for this x, the formula I have given you, it is a b, and it is with h. So b by 3, and for the y it is h by 3. Okay, so this is how I have given you. Suppose just watch clearly. Suppose the right angle triangle is positioned something like this, in the reverse manner, something like this. So what would be the centroid C? Okay, so if I take it, what would be the centroid x, and here what would be the y? Okay, here the x is b by 3, and here the y is h by 3 for this C. So how will you find it, and what would be the x? Look at this. Already we know the formula. From this end, the x measurement is b by 3. So here as well, from this end it is with b by 3. Okay, from this end it is with b by 3. So the formula of x bar is just I can say the total length is b. So the total length is b. So b minus, not to get this x, I just minus this b by 3. Can you get it? Our x from the O is this much distance. So in the basic position we know, from this end the x is b by 3. So here as far as this position is concerned, this is the exact measurement b by 3. So what I am going to do is, the total length is considered as b. So b minus b by 3. Okay. So if I simplify it, I can say the x will be something like this. I just going to commonly take 3, so that it will be 3b minus b, right? So that it will be 2b by 3. When you are minusing it, you will get x bar or x just x is equal to 2b by 3. What about y? From this n to y, it is considered as h by 3. In similar fashion, from this n to y, we can take the same manner. Y there is no change, h by 3. Okay, can you get the things? So similar manner, if I just put it in the quadrant system, so this is the basic. Each and every quadrant, this position can be possible in the real part. Okay, so and practically just we have to generate the formula something like this. Okay, by knowing the or the length, and by converting just like this we can get the x and y. Okay, but I will give you just trick in order to get the exact formula, just by seeing the position of the right angle triangle itself. So for that I have taken it into the coordinate. So if I take, this is the first, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. For the first quadrant, x-axis is x-axis is positive, y-axis is positive. For the second quadrant, y-axis is positive and x-axis is minus. And for the third quadrant, x-axis is minus and y-axis is also minus. For the fourth quadrant, x-axis is positive and y-axis is minus. Okay, just keep it in your mind. If your x-axis is plus, then your formula will be the same, the basic one, b by 3, and here the y-axis is also positive, so h by 3. Okay, b by 3 and h by 3. It's a basic one. This is what the general position. So as it is, we can write. So here comes in the second quadrant the x. See, it is minus. So what we can do is, when you are getting the minus, you can just multiply by 2. When you are getting minus at that particular coordinate, that means axis, we need to put 2. It's a shortcut, 2b by 3. For y, here see, it's a positive value, so h by 3. Okay. For the third quadrant, if the position of the right angle triangle is something like this, then the x is equal to, here see, the x direction is minus, so what I say, you need to multiply by 2, so 2b divided by 3, and y that also minus, so there also what we have to do is multiply by 2, so 2b by 3. Okay, in the fourth quadrant, x and y. What about the x? X is positive, so the basic one, what is you have to give. And here the fourth quadrant, which is what, negative, so negative sign in the sense we have to multiply by what, 2, y in the sense h by 3, so h by 3. Okay, so just keep it, remember the basic one formula is x is equal to b by 3, y is equal to h by 3. What I give you the tips was, if the coordinate, the x or y is a negative sign, that particular thing you need to put a 2, you need to multiply by 2. Here x is a minus, so 2b by 3, naturally b by 3, but here 2b by 3. So here comes x and y, that means third quadrant x and y is a minus, so both 2b by 3 and 2 h by 3, it's a committed mistake, for y it's a h by 3, so 2 h by 3. Okay, and here comes the fourth quadrant, minus is for y, so there alone 2 into h by 3. Okay, so keep it, remember, whenever you come across the negative minus, just multiply 2, that will do. Okay, so if you put it in the quadrant, you can just simply, you can take the formula easily. Okay, fine. And then second, what I'm going to show here is equilateral triangle. So equilateral triangle, the basic one is something like this. For this centroid, x is equal to, x direction it's a b and y direction it's a h, am I right? This height is a h we have taken. So for b by 2, y h divided by 3, this one we have learned. Okay, so if suppose the position is something like this, the inverted manner the position is, okay, here the x x is b by 2. Here the y is h by 3. H is the total height. Okay, h is total height here. Let it be. See, here it is C. Okay, centroid. So now I need to specify the x. So for the x, the entire length is b, right? The similar fashion here as well, it will be b divided by 2, right? Here the entire length is b, so in the x axis b divided by 2. So here the vertical, it is a height, right? So whenever want to specify the y when it is in the inverted manner, how to be careful. So in the basic formula, from the base to the centroid, it is considered as y. Am I right? So here is the base, and from the base it is measured as h divided by 3. H divided by 3. So what would be the y? I can give the formula. I can take the formula just not to specify this y, entire length minus this, then you can get the y. Entire length is h, so h minus h divided by 3. So what would be the value? The similar fashion here you need to take it. So what comes? 3h minus h, here you will get 2h divided by 3. Okay, 2h divided by 3. So keep it, remember, when you are having inverted manner, have to be careful. The x direction b by 2, but the y is 2b by 2h by 3. Be careful. And suppose this direction also possible. Okay, sometimes it will be something like this. The equilateral triangle will be something like this. So I can say this is with a measurement b, and this is with the length height. Okay, then what would be the centroid, and what would be the x? What would be the x for the centroid? Just see here, the entire length is height, so what it is, x, which is equal to, from the base the height is h by 3, in the basic we have derived, right? So here from the base this x is h divided by 3. Okay, here it is something like this, not this orientation, the orientation is changed. Okay, so from the base in the y we have calculated h divided by 3. Similar manner in the x direction, just the same like this, right? So from the base it is h divided by 3, and for the y, from this point to this c we need to specify, right? So this is the y. What is it? So entire height here I have specified as b. Okay, just like this, but inverted manner, b divided by 2. Entire length is b, so b divided by 2 for the y. If suppose the equilateral triangle is something like this, then what would be this height? This length is h, and this height is b. So what would be the x? What would be the x distance for the centroid? What would be the y distance? I can say y distance b divided by 2. Am I right? Entire length is b, so y here it is b divided by 2. B divided by 2. What about x? X, that we need to find. See, basically here what happens for the x, from the base h divided by 3. From the base, this is the base, from it h divided by 3. So here it is the base, this is the base, so this is the distance with h divided by 3. So what would be this x? X can be calculated, the total length is h, so h minus this h divided by 3, you will get the answer. So the similar fashion you get 2h by 3, okay, 2h by 3. So based upon the position, the formulas are changing, so please keep it in your mind when you are having this similar normal one, h is equal to b divided by 2, y is equal to h divided by 3. When you are just inverted manner, for this the formula is changing, x is same and y 2h divided by 3. And when it is just like this, left to right the diagram is, okay, at that time just when you compare with this x is becoming for y and this y is for x, something like this it is differing. And when you come to the just reverse of this one, the third one, the just reverse of this one, y just equal to b by 2, but the x is goes on changing, that means 2h divided by 3. So by this we can know how it is changing, okay, just keep it in your mind. And the third one, quadrant, okay, quadrant. So for the basic one, quadrant, r is equal to 4r by 3 pi and x is equal to 4r by 3 pi and y is equal to 4r by 3 pi. So both x it is with r and y it is with r, so 4r by 3 pi and 4r by 3 pi I said you, right? So if it is something like this, the similar fashion you need to go for the calculation. Also this is the basic one, sometimes it can be something like this, sometimes it can be something like this, sometimes it can be something like this. So this also possible, this also possible, this also. This is for the first quadrant, this is for the second quadrant, this is for the third quadrant, this is for the fourth quadrant, okay. Just see the diagram gonna be just like this. In this manner in the or the second quadrant, right? Let us know about this first. Here the length is r and the height is also r. Somewhere here the centroid will be. What about the distance? What about the distance x and what about the distance y? See the x, the basic term from here to here, the x is 4r by 3 pi, right? From this base to here, this C point 4r by 3 pi. So from this base to this point, the distance is 4r by 3 pi. Okay, this distance is 4r by 3 pi. So what would be this x? What would be this x? X is equal to the total length which is r, total length which is r minus 4r by 3 pi. Can you able to understand? Here the x can be calculated from the O, from this particular point to this one, this points. So basically for the general orientation, we know from the base to this center point, which is what, 4r by 3 pi. So in order to calculate this x, I just going to take this entire length minus this one, so that we can get the answer for x. What about y? It is like a previous one, the entire length is r, and from this O to this distance already it is been calculated here, 4r by 3 pi, from the base side to this, here as well from the base side to here, okay, right. Only for the x it is getting changed. So similar fashion for this position and this position, this formula will be differing. So the same manner we need to go for the calculation, okay. So in order to get the or the formula by seeing the position itself, just a trick, just if you take the first quadrant, it's a positive and it's a positive, and for the second quadrant y axis is positive and the x axis is a negative, and for that it is negative, x axis is negative and y axis also negative, and here for the fourth quadrant the x axis is positive and here the y axis is negative. Okay, keep it in your mind. So whenever you are coming across the negative, just like the right angle triangle, here you need to subtract from or radius. Okay, that means for this it is the normal one, x 4 or by 3 pi and y 4 or by 3 pi. Here comes the x is minus, so what we have to do, negative or minus that time is 4 or by 3 pi. In the y it is a positive, so 4 or by 3 pi. So here comes both the terms are negative, right? Both the terms are negative, so x also r minus 4 or by 3 pi, y also r minus 4 or by 3 pi, and here x is positive, so 4 or by 3 pi, and for y which is negative, so what I said, r minus 4 or divided by 3 pi. Here in the right angle triangle, multiply by 2 when you are coming across the negative one. Here when you are coming across the negative one, you have to just subtract from the radius r. Okay, let's move to the next one, the final one. We can get the semicircle. Okay, semicircle. So in the semicircle, this position is possible. This is the known position for us. For this, the centroid can be calculated. H is equal to d divided by 2 and y is equal to 4 r divided by 3 pi. Okay, and the next, this position also can be possible. This position also can be possible. Okay, so when you are having such kind of position, so basically we know the x is equal to d by 2, right? Here as well the entire length of this object is there in this position also. So for the x, d divided by 2, and for the y, just see from this end to this center, right? From this end to this center, this is the y. Here it is x, which is already found, and here it is the 1. So here we know the y, in the sense from the base to the c is 4 r by 3 pi. So what we can do is, here in order to specify from this maximum this top end to the c, what we can do is r minus 4 r divided by 3 pi. Okay, similarly this also position can be possible, something like this. Okay, centered c. So when you are coming across in the y axis, the diameter is, right, full diameter is, so from this point to the x, the y distance can be calculated by d by 2, and for the x, which is 4 or divided by 3 pi, since there is only radius for the x direction. Okay, fine. And if suppose one more thing I can show for the semicircle. Suppose it is just like this. suppose like this. So in order to specify the centroid from the x direction, so this is the x. So here x is equal to, we have the practice from the base side to this particular distance is 4r by 3 pi, right? So from the base side to this is 4r by 3 pi. So I can do, what I can do is entire length is r, so r minus 4r by 3 pi. So here y is equal to entire diameter is there, right? So d by 2. Whenever you have the diameter d by 2, whenever you have the radius, there will be 4r by 3 pi. But if the orientation is different, then some cases it will be r minus 4r by 3 pi, some cases 4r by 3 pi. Okay, so I hope you understood when you are having such kind of what the orientation, how this formula can be altered in the logical manner. I hope you understood. Thank you so much.